All right, we got Kyle coming up in just a few minutes. You've probably seen this thing start to finish. Oh, yeah, more than anybody. From the initials to the filtering to the finals. How excited are you that we've got Casey in the fold now?
Yeah, I'm really excited, and it was a long process. It was, and it was hard. I mean, I talked about that the last time I was on. It was hard, but I think Kyle was. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say after his first interview, the few of us on the committee were like, "That's our guy." He was so impressive from the start, and the research that he had done. And people want to talk about, oh, he doesn't understand Nebraska. He will. I think he already does, but he will work night and day to make sure that he knows what he needs to know to be successful in this role. He's going to, work his tail off to be prepared, but not just for what he's going to bring on the air, but what he represents when he's in the community. Yeah. Being able to have those conversations with folks, whether it's somebody calling into the show or he's running into somebody in the Haymarket, so I think that he understood in a way that I don't think most outsiders do what the situation was, and not just the state of Nebraska and this program and the sports and what it means, but also the situation at hand with what he's stepping into and the shoes that he's filling and the legacy that is Greg Sharp. I mean, that was from the beginning, the way he made note of and the way he spoke of and the understanding of Greg and what Greg meant to all of us, but to this radio network, to the people that listen. And so he understood that from the start in ways that not everybody did, but then, also didn't shy away from that either, and I think that it was just a balance of, okay, this guy gets it, but then also has listened to so many hours of what we do. And he knows that we have one of the best broadcasts in all of college football, all of college sports, just with what we do night in and night out with covering all of our different teams. And so he was excited to be able to be a part of that and elevate it in the ways that he can, but not come in and, hey, this is my show. And so I know, DB, you've talked about this, but we knew that he'd be a team guy and fit into what we already have in place, which is a lot. But then be able to challenge us and bring ideas and tweak things. And he's all about doing the social media thing and maybe potentially doing some cameras in the booth. I know you're excited about, but there, just some things that you want.
I was trying to get away from the whole GoPro idea and all that other stuff.
Being on camera is DB's favorite.
Yeah,
he's gonna love that.
She knows, believe me.
So I think just all the boxes that we were looking for, Kyle checked from the start, and so I was really excited. And I said this in my post. I know that people might have their reservations, whatever, but if you give him a chance, I know Husker Nation is going to love this guy, and he is going to call a killer football game. There's no doubt in my mind.
Jess, so you brought up something there that I is one of the main things I've seen, right? When the announcement comes out, you go like, oh, he's an outsider. He's not from Nebraska. Don't ask her.
Careful.
So, no, I'm curious.
I'm an outsider too, by the way.
Get him, Jess.
Well, so that's kind of where I'm going. So obviously you weren't from here. Greg wasn't from here. Like a lot of these guys, Coach Rule's not from here. People forget all of a sudden. But how much, I guess, were you aware of that as you're going through the process? I know you were in it like way earlier than DB was even, but like I've always said, and I'm not trying to hate on anybody, the difference between Scott Frost and Matt Rule for me was Scott Frost was from here. Matt Rule feels like he's from here, right? and so, like, I guess how much were you aware of that as you're going through this process because of how much this position does mean to the people of the state of Nebraska?
1,000%. We had to think about somebody that could fit in here and not just call a good football game. We had applicants. I mean, we've heard it over and over again, hundreds of people that sounded incredible on the air, but it was more than that. It is a total package type of deal that you do. And I never want to leave here, and I'm not from here, And so I think that's where if people will give people a chance, that even though it's a pretty great place, if you didn't know, and so even though you're an outsider, you can fall in love with being here and what is at place here. And, the opportunities that to be embedded at this athletics department, there's nothing like it. And I think we've said this a lot too. You might not fully understand it. You think you understand it. I mean, I even have said that, like, I thought I understood it till I got here, but you learn quickly, and you learn what people want and how you can adapt and what you can bring to the table that people will like. And so I felt all along that, yeah, he might not be from the state of Nebraska, but this is a guy that's going to come in and fit in like the rest of us outsiders have too. I guess because I'm not from here, I don't love that argument as much, or that sentiment as much as maybe other people do. But because I think you can, just because you're not from here doesn't mean you can't find a love and understanding for it in the way that people have growing up here. I mean, I'm testament to that. And so I didn't think it was, maybe because I was in a different role, I wasn't the voice of the Huskers, but I didn't think it was one of those things where it didn't take long for me to feel like I was not an outsider. So I hope it's the case for Kyle. And I think he will do a really good job of just getting, going all in and getting acclimated and fit. He will fit in, and he will fall in love with this place just like the rest of us have, and we'll find a home here. I mean, he said it multiple times. This is what he hopes to be his last job of his career, what he's worked for his entire career to get to and stay at for the rest of it. And so there's no doubt in my mind, but yes, that was a very important part of it is, it wasn't just what you can call how you sound on the radio. You got to be able to be a fit with our radio team, with what the state of Nebraska needs, how you represent when you're off the air. There are a lot of things to it. I mean, obviously it's a big job, and I think we got a guy that checked every single box.
Yeah, I was like Jerry Maguire coming home to people talking. Like, he had me at, I used to draw plays up for the Colts during the Steelers game on what they should run on scratch paper. And I was like, wait, you did what? Oh, okay. You're in. You like to draw football plays. Had me at hello, Kyle. Had me at hello. I'll get you out on this, JC. How cool is it that he gets to help us break in the new digs, which is, I mean, I am blown away. I hated wearing a hard hat and all that other good stuff, but man, that thing is going to be a monster. How cool is that we get to move together?
Yeah, DB's giving me a hard time about what I look like in a hard hat. I'm like, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Nobody looks good in a hard hat. But yeah, it's going to be sweet. And I know they're going to have more information coming out. But the studio's awesome. There's going to be a podcast studio, but state of the art once again. And we're going to be all moving together, the content teams. And so I think another really big recruiting tool when you already talk about the facilities that nobody else can match. Then this day and age, when you're growing a brand and the things that student athletes want to be a part of and utilize on social media, doing podcasts, whatever it might be, we're going to be able to also provide that for them. And so there's a lot of cool things, but it's going to be a sweet setup. And I think July 7th, we'll be back on the air live, and we'll be in the new set. And that's also Kyle's first day. So a lot of fun things ahead here in the next couple of weeks for the Huskers Radio Network.
That's Jessica Coody, Husker Radio Network.
You ambassador, you.
Appreciate your time so much. Thanks for joining us as always, and congrats on the NBA title.
Thank you.
Thanks,
appreciate
Jess.
it.